Hello everyone, and welcome to this detailed breakdown of the ongoing conflict between the United States, Israel, and Iran. As of March 1, 2026, the situation remains tense following major military actions that began just yesterday. In this video, we'll cover the background, key events, retaliations, and international responses, all from a neutral perspective, drawing on reports from various global sources. Remember, this is a rapidly evolving story, and we'll stick to verified facts. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for updates. Let's dive in. To understand this escalation, we need to go back to the nuclear negotiations. For weeks leading up to February 28, 2026, the U.S. and Iran were engaged in talks in Geneva, mediated in part by Oman. According to U.S. officials, the demands included Iran fully dismantling its nuclear infrastructure, such as the facilities at Natanz, Fordow, and Isfahan, shipping all enriched uranium abroad, and committing to zero uranium enrichment, with only minor exceptions for medical purposes. Iran, on the other hand, rejected these as non-negotiable and insisted on full sanctions relief from the U.S. and UN. Iranian sources emphasized that destroying facilities or shipping uranium out was off the table. This isn't the first clash. In June 2025, a brief 12-day conflict saw U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iranian sites, killing hundreds, followed by a ceasefire. The U.S. had been building up military forces in the region since then, amid ongoing domestic protests in Iran against the regime. U.S. President Donald Trump warned of bad things if talks failed, and intelligence reports suggested Iran was rebuilding elements of its nuclear program. Iran has maintained that its program is for peaceful purposes, while the U.S. and Israel view it as a threat, with Trump claiming Iranian missiles could soon reach the U.S. homeland, though some intelligence assessments question this immediacy. On February 28, 2026, the talks collapsed, leading to a large-scale joint operation by the U.S. and Israel. Dubbed Operation Epic Fury by the U.S. and Roaring Lion by Israel, the strikes began early that morning. President Trump announced the assault in a video message, framing it as necessary to eliminate Iran's nuclear program and calling on Iranians to overthrow their government amid protests. He stated the goal was freedom for the people of Iran and regime change. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed the strikes were planned for months and would continue as long as needed. Reports indicate over 200 Israeli fighter jets were involved, targeting nuclear sites like Natanz, Fordow, and Isfahan, missile and defense systems, naval assets, and leadership centers in cities including Tehran, Qom, Karaj, Kermanshah, and others. Strikes reportedly hit near Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's offices, with unconfirmed reports of his possible death and the killing of several senior figures. Iranian media reported over 200 deaths, including civilians, with strikes on a primary school killing over 80. U.S. Central Command stated the operation aimed to devastate Iran's military, eliminate its nuclear and missile program, and disrupt retaliation capabilities. A U.S. official noted that key Iranian air defenses were eliminated. Iran responded swiftly with counterstrikes. Hours after the initial attacks, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps launched ballistic missiles and drones at Israel and U.S. military bases across the region. Targets included Al Udeid in Qatar, Al Zafra in the UAE, sites in Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Syria. Explosions were reported in Jerusalem, Dubai, and Manama, with a high-rise in Bahrain catching fire from a drone strike. Damage was limited, with most projectiles intercepted by air defenses. Reports confirm at least one fatality in Abu Dhabi, but no major U.S. or Israeli casualties so far. Iran described its response as having no red lines and proportional to the attacks. Experts note this mirrors past limited retaliations, like after the 2025 strikes, to show resolve without full escalation. The world has reacted with caution. The United Nations condemned the strikes and called for de-escalation. The UN Security Council is set to meet today to discuss the crisis. Countries like the UK, France, and Germany urged restraint amid fears of a wider war. Regional allies, including Gulf states, reported attacks on their soil, disrupting flights and causing oil price volatility. Public opinion is divided. Some U.S. figures, like Senator John Fetterman, supported the operation, while others criticized it as aggressive. In Iran, reports show mixed reactions, with some hoping for regime change amid protests. As of March 1, 2026, the conflict is active with no ceasefire in sight. Analysts warn of potential broader involvement from Iranian proxies or Gulf states, risking a regional war. Casualties stand at over 200 in Iran, with limited reports elsewhere. In summary, this escalation stems from failed nuclear talks and long-standing tensions. We hope for peaceful resolution soon. What do you think? Will this lead to regime change or wider conflict? Comment below, like, and share. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.